Hey everybody, it is one Crazy Fox 1, and you're probably wondering why I'm super fucking excited. Well, if the last video was any indication, we are on the tea party of the last chapter of Umineko When They Cry, and thus we are very close to getting the question mark version of the last chapter, which means this is going to be the last recording session of Umineko When They Cry. We have come so far of this game from 2 years ago when I took a fucking 2-year hiatus, and the last year which I have been non-stop uploading Umineko When They Cry content for all of you guys to enjoy, and you guys have been enjoying the shit out of it. So without further delay, time to start the last final recording session for Umineko When They Cry. Don't worry, cheer is still going to be a thing. I'm just having a 1-week break in between to play a different game just to break up the action, but that's not important. What's important is loading into my game. Now, if you remember last time, Butler is going around and he is finding all of his relatives. The last time he found up to Kiri. Now, all of his relatives up to this point have been shown to be shot by something. He can rationalize it with a gun. None of them have been murdered in a gruesome way. Like, okay, Jessica is the closest. I'm actually surprised that they don't have these two characters, because in the visual novel up to this point we found out that they hung themselves, or they were hung by something else in the shed, which actually was the place that started it all. Man, the memories are just floating back. Actually, it's weird. We had no, like, inkling that he found anyone dead until he found George. Like, before that, like, George was the only character, like, outright confirmed to be dead throughout the entire chapter. Since this is the tea party, this is technically after chapter. Technically. And I say technically in air quotes because, unlike Higurashi, the tea parties do actually connect with the actual game. Higurashi's all-cast review, those were weird. Those are fun, though, unlike his fucking 07 talk thing. Like, oh, this might get me in trouble with the police. Oh, that would be something if Butler got arrested for all this. Yeah, that's something I didn't like, and I bitch about that a lot. Like, I really love how Umineko's, like, after chapter things are more concrete. Higurashi When They Cry Kai's after games were just awful. Seriously, you end Chapter 7 where we learn the main antagonist of the entire series with an anti-bullying bit. I mean, thanks for spreading the truth on anti-bullying, like one of those after-school program things, but, you know, murder just happened. I don't know. I'm just very excited to play this. Like, you guys have no idea. I've been all day today. This is literally the day after yesterday where I recorded throughout the entire chapter's end. I recorded so much yesterday. The only thing I could think of today, like literally the only thing I could think of in the back of my head while I was at work was, holy shit, today is going to be the day that I finish Umineko When They Cry. And boy, what a day it is. As there's actually a gnat in this room. How a gnat got into the fucking closet, I'll never know. Actually, I do know. They're fucking tiny. Of course they can. But wouldn't you think, you know, you'd go outside to where there's more light? So, I understand what's going on here. Butler is not really believing in what's going on. He's going around and checking out the bodies, and honestly, the fact he's trying to rationalize everything that's going on. I am a little bit disappointed that Maria died. And by the way, has Maria redeemed herself after killing Rosa? I'm not saying that Rosa didn't deserve it. I'm saying that Maria shouldn't have been the one to do it because that led to a deep, dark place for her. The answer is an unresounding yes. Like, I'm not going to lie, I legitimately cried tears of sadness when I found out that her spell, that her incantation that would make it to where her mother loved her was ooh. Everything that went through my head was just flashbacks of all the chapters, especially too when her mother berated her so much in that chapter for saying ooh. And yeah, I did feel kind of guilty every time I told Bottler thank you for slapping her, but to be fair, she was laughing at the fact that people were dying, so, you know, it was warranted. Just one little slap for being an inconsiderate bitch during those times, but for the most part, she's a very, very good child, a very happy child. And the fact that she's like the fucking sweetest girl in this entire fucking visual novel. It's so sweet. And when I saw that, like, instantly, every single fear I had about Maria just washed away. I was now more concerned for her than I ever was. I was just sad. I was sad that things turned out the way they did. You know? What I'm saying is, I'm going to be looking at Maria in a very, very different and positive light in Chiru, as opposed to the why the fuck is she laughing at everyone's death in this game. I'm not going to excuse that, however. If Bottler slaps her again in Chiru, I'm still going to say thank you, because she is being a fucking bitch during that time, and laughing at other people literally dying. But other than that, she's like the sweetest fucking character in this whole damn novel. And I can't be mad at her. I can be mad at Rosa for creating such a... Oh, it's cross. I can be mad at Rosa for creating a monster inside of her. His body was found in the vicinity of the back door to the mansion. His head was half destroyed. It's probably appropriate to think that he was murdered with something like a powerful gun. A demon stake was buried into the damaged area. No one can escape from the Siesta's golden arrows. Oh, whoops, wrong thing. There we go. There we go! Yeah, if I was Bottler right now, like, he's waited 24 hours and now he's just finding, like, everyone dead in this mansion. I don't know what the fuck I would be feeling, honestly. Terror and disgust, probably. No way, I've never heard of anything like that. He's holding on to his anti-magical beliefs. And honestly, I think that's literally the only thing that's saving him in this mansion. I've mentioned this before. It was the fact that he gave up in Chapter 2 was the reason that he died to magic. If you notice in Chapter 3, he never died to magic. He died to a gunshot. I honestly think he cannot be killed with magic because of his strong disbelief in magic. Now, I know that to be true for Meta Bottler because the Siesta Sisters actually outright attacked him. Oh shit, it's morning. Yeah, that's right, it's morning right now. The Siesta Sisters outright attacked him, and it did nothing, but I don't know if that's the same for Peace Bottler, and now we found the other two. His body was found behind the mansion. His head was half destroyed. It's probably appropriate to think that he was shot by a gun or something. A demon stake half fallen near his body. And her body was found behind the mansion. Her head was half destroyed, and it's probably appropriate to think that she was shot with a gun or something. A demon stake had fallen near the body. The witness at least realized the stake did not kill her. this song, I fucking love this song. Like, I outright love pretty much every fucking song in this game. Every song in this game I associate with certain moments in the game, and it brings back memories. If I remember, this was the last song that was playing during Chapter 1, as the curtain was falling on everyone. I think it was right after Natsui died, or right as they were going to see Maria. It all comes back. Everything comes back and is looped around. The song that plays at the end of Chapter 2 when they're trying to escape the island, every time I hear that, I just have flashbacks to that epic struggle, the actual kindness that Rosa has been shown to have. The fact that she protected her daughter to the very end. I mean, it's stuff like that. It's stuff like that that the music always brings back. And it's definitely the creepy aspect of the music, too. Every time I hear System Zero, I just think back to that one scene. Back when we didn't know that there was a witch. Back into that... into Kinzo's study, where Natsui pointed the gun and was frantically shouting at people because the killer was in the room. As far as we knew. As far as the viewers knew, too. Every time I hear the Siesta Sisters theme or Dance of the Moon Rabbits, I think back to the Jelly Ocean, the Mountain of Sweets, just the insanity that was playing in my head on what Rosa was, or I'm sorry, what Eva Triss was doing to Rosa. I mean, all these songs have memories for me. Memories that I will never forget about this game. And I'm glad that it's all ending. At least the first game. I will always have fond memories of these chapters. And overall, 07's work, a lot of these chapters have landed in my top 5. I know that Chapter 1 is my second favorite 07th expansion chapter out of everything he's done that I've seen thus far. Like, that is saying something when it can beat Onokakashi. And true, Onokakashi was a little bit weird, but Onokakashi was brilliantly written. Like, if you read Onokakashi as if it was a normal novel, and not a visual novel, you can actually see what is going on. It's brilliant. And then, you know, Chapter 3 of Higurashi is my favorite chapter. It is going to take a miracle and a half to top that chapter. But let me tell you, this game has come very far. I debated on putting... I haven't finished 4 yet, remember. I think 4 might trump Onokakashi, and Onokakashi might become my 4th favorite. But I just love the mystery aspects of Legend of the Golden Witch too much compared to, shit, what is this one? I think this one is Alliance of the Golden Witch. Oh, now he's gonna go back and he's gonna discover their bodies, and now we're gonna get to see them. I'm sure he can find something. Oh, underground? That's where he's gonna find Kinzo. Just like how it happened in the first chapter. Everything is coming full circle. His body was found burnt to death in the incinerator, in the underground boiler room. Because there was no evidence found inside the incinerator, it's probably appropriate to think that he was burned after he was murdered. Dust to dust, ashes to ashes, the dead to the dead. Oh, and Baller is back in. Remember, he was gone at one point. Yeah, I wonder how he's gonna rationalize this. Yeah, and I wonder how he's gonna think, how the fuck did he get in here, considering he's the bad guy? Because Beatrice slaughtered him, that's why. Not unless you can summon the dead like Beatrice can, which is still bullshit, but hey, you know, magic. Or maybe not, maybe it was all a dream. Schrodinger's cat. I'm not gonna lie, going inside this shed always just... Every time we go into this shed, because of what happened in Chapter 1, I'm still uneasy about it. Oh! Her body was found in the okay, so a stick was driven into the head, which makes me think that they were murdered. Her body was found in the Rose Garden storehouse. It is hypothesized that after being shot in the forehead, she was hung by her neck. As long as a closed-room murder could be constructed, nothing else mattered. His body was found in the Rose Garden storehouse. It's hypothesized that after being shot in the forehead, he was hung by the neck. They put loops around their own necks. It is an interesting experience every now and then. But how the fuck did the guy get inside? That's the question, Bottler. Right. It was too short. Damn! Yeah, I never want to see this fucking storehouse, ever. I just feel uneasy every time I see it. It's weird that they wouldn't take it, isn't it, Bottler? Of course, if you believe in the Golden Witch, then everything will be explained very easily. I can actually explain this with humans. After being stuck in here for so long and thinking that nothing was going to happen, they began to prepare to commit suicide. However, during that, they were shot right as they put the nooses around their necks. It was tightened enough that it was slightly off the ground, and they were going to tighten it even more off the ground, but they were shot in the middle of it, and thus they were left for dead. At least that's my interpretation of it. Right, it doesn't make any sense. Like, even with Beatrice's standards. What am I saying? With Beatrice's standards, fucking people have candy coming out of their fucking entrails. Right. Oh, this music. Are those bars enchanted? That's true. He couldn't even fathom this. The bullshit laser that legitimately freaked me the fuck out when it happened in Chapter 2 for the first time. I'm not gonna lie, up to that point, I was like, what the fuck is a furniture? What the fuck is a furniture? And then the game gladly told me! And I regretted everything, cause that opened Pandora's box. Cause then the witch got furniture. Oh, if only you knew about Shannon, too. Now that is as far from the truth as possible, and we're gonna end things off here. So next time, everybody, we're gonna continue the tea party, which I have been told is notoriously long. So until then, guys, I will see you then.